Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered why you were born on a specific day, in a specific month, at a particular time? What if I told you that your birth date is more than just a number on a calendar? It's a cosmic blueprint, a divine code written just for you. Today, I want to explore the fascinating idea that your birth date reveals your life purpose. When we think of a birth date, we often reduce it to a string of numbers used for identification, a means to mark our age, fill out forms, or celebrate birthdays. But what if we began to view it through a different lens? What if we recognized our birth date not just as a calendar marker, but as a symbolic entry point into the deeper meaning of who we are? This shift in perspective opens the door to a profound understanding of the self, one that sees time, numbers, and even celestial alignments as intentional and informative. Throughout history, many ancient cultures believed that the moment of your birth was not random. In fact, civilizations such as the Egyptians, Babylonians, Mayans, and Vedic scholars all developed systems that associated specific times and dates with unique energetic qualities. These systems weren't created just for philosophical entertainment. They were grounded in observation, intuition, and the belief that life operates according to patterns. In their view, the date you are born isn't something that just happens to you. It is a mirror reflecting the nature of your soul's journey. Think about it. Why are you drawn to certain things and not others? Why do you face particular types of challenges while someone else faces different ones entirely? Much of this may be explained by your environment, upbringing, and choices, but there's often a deeper layer. Your birth date can act like a map, pointing toward traits, abilities, and even soul contracts that are part of your core identity. This map doesn't control your destiny, but it does offer clues. Much like how a compass guides a traveler without dictating every step. For example, in numerology, your life path number, which is derived from your full birth date, is considered a fundamental indicator of your purpose, personality, and lessons in life. Each number is associated with certain vibrations. 1 may signify leadership and independence, 7 may point towards spirituality and introspection, while 9 represents compassion and service. These aren't abstract labels. They often align uncannily with the strengths and challenges people face. The date of your birth, in this light, becomes less like an accident and more like a coded message waiting to be unpacked. Similarly, in astrology, the positioning of celestial bodies at the exact moment of your birth gives rise to a natal chart, often called your cosmic fingerprint. While many people know their sun sign, the full chart goes far deeper, showing patterns, themes, and tendencies that manifest throughout life. Astrologers interpret these charts to help individuals understand not just who they are, but why they are that way. Your birth date, therefore, is the key that unlocks this personal cosmic data. Again, the date isn't random, it is intentional, rich with symbolism and meaning. Even outside of esoteric practices, we recognize the significance of timing. In psychology and sociology, birth order and generational timing are seen as important influences. But what if we went one step further, not just considering the era we were born into, but the specific day and energy of that moment? Imagine the power of combining scientific inquiry with ancient wisdom. What you get is a more integrated picture of human potential and purpose, one in which your birth date is seen not as trivia, but as a deeply encoded personal story. This way of thinking invites us to be more curious about ourselves. Rather than viewing life as a series of unrelated events, we start to perceive patterns, signs that point us back to the essence of who we are and why we are here. Your birth date can help validate your instincts, passions, and even your hardships. It provides a kind of spiritual or psychological GPS, suggesting that even when you feel lost, you're still on a path designed uniquely for you. And the best part? You're allowed to decode it, explore it, and grow with it. In truth, to say your birth date is just a coincidence is to overlook the remarkable synchronicity of life. From the alignment of the planets to the numerical vibrations of your birthday, there is an extraordinary level of intentionality beneath the surface. You are part of a larger, intelligent design, one that began ticking the moment you arrived. And when you realize this, your life begins to feel not only more meaningful, but also more connected to something timeless and profound. Every birth date is a powerful timestamp, a cosmic signature that captures the energy present at the exact moment you came into the world. Just as a fingerprint is unique to every individual, so is the energetic imprint of your birth date. This energy is not merely symbolic. It carries with it vibrations, qualities, and tendencies that shape the fabric of who you are. Whether interpreted through numerology, astrology, or other metaphysical systems, your birth date acts as a vessel for spiritual intelligence, a kind of coded message from the universe that reveals more than meets the eye. This concept of energy being embedded in time is not a modern invention. It is rooted in ancient traditions across continents. In numerology, each number carries specific vibrational meanings. For example, the number 2 resonates with harmony and sensitivity, while the number 8 vibrates with power, achievement, and material success. These numbers, when added or reduced from your birth date, tell a story about your life's theme. It's not just about labeling who you are, it's about understanding the spiritual essence you are here to embody. Astrology takes this idea even further by considering the precise positions of the planets, the moon, and the sun at the time of your birth. Each celestial body contributes a different kind of influence: emotional, mental, spiritual, or physical. The moon might represent your inner world and emotional responses, while the sun reveals your core essence and purpose. The alignment of these bodies on your birth date is believed to form a personal blueprint, one that affects your strengths, your learning curves, and even the timing of events in your life. These energies are dynamic, shaping your growth over time. When people begin to explore the energetic meaning behind their birth date, many experience a sense of recognition, an inner click that validates things they've always felt but never had words for. For instance, someone who has always felt called to help others may discover their birth date vibrates with the number 9, the number of compassion and humanitarian service. These realizations offer clarity and sometimes even a sense of peace, as if life suddenly makes a little more sense. The chaos begins to feel like a pattern, one you can now read, understand, and follow. In spiritual philosophy, it's often said that the soul chooses when and where to be born. While this may sound mystical, it aligns with the idea that our souls have a plan, that we arrive at a time that supports our purpose, growth, and the lessons we are meant to learn. Your birth date, then, is not random but divinely selected. The energy of that day, with all its astrological and numerical significance, is in harmony with the journey your soul chose before entering this life. This idea empowers us to take our life seriously, not with fear, but with reverence. Moreover, the energetic meaning of a birth date extends beyond the individual. It connects us to larger cycles of time, seasons, and cosmic rhythms. Being born in a certain season may align you with particular themes: renewal, expansion, reflection, or transformation. Similarly, collective events or energies present on your birth date may influence your outlook on life. Those born during times of upheaval may carry the spirit of change makers, while those born in peaceful eras may embody healing or unity. Thus, the birth date connects personal energy with collective destiny. Understanding the spiritual energy of your birth date also helps you better navigate challenges. Each number or planetary influence has both a light and a shadow side. Knowing the energies you're working with can illuminate why certain patterns repeat in your life, why you may attract similar relationships, face the same internal battles, or struggle with particular decisions. These aren't just random hardships, they are part of your energetic design. When you understand this, you can begin to work with your energy instead of against it, using awareness to transform limitations into growth. Lastly, your birth date serves as a kind of inner compass. While life will always be filled with uncertainty and change, the energetic meaning of your birth date offers a sense of grounding. It reminds you that you carry a unique frequency, one that is aligned with the time and space of your arrival. By tuning into this energy, you can align with your authentic self more fully. You can make decisions that resonate with your spirit. You can live more purposefully, not because someone tells you to, but because you are attuned to the rhythm of your own soul's timing. Each of us is born with natural tendencies, instincts that seem to emerge without explanation. Some children show early signs of leadership. Others are drawn to music, teaching, or nature. These inclinations often surface long before formal education or life experience could have shaped them. While society often dismisses these early traits as personality quirks or childhood interests, spiritual and metaphysical traditions regard them as indicators of a deeper truth, that our innate passions and tendencies are not random, but reflections of our soul's life purpose. Your birth date, when interpreted correctly, can help clarify why you're drawn to certain paths and not others. For instance, someone born with the life path number 3 in numerology often has a creative, expressive energy. They might be naturally gifted in communication, the arts, or social interaction. Even if they attempt to suppress or ignore this energy, perhaps due to external pressure or fear, it tends to re-emerge in various ways. It is quite literally part of the energetic coding. This alignment between personal tendencies and cosmic design shows us that our passions are not accidents, they are instructions. This connection becomes even more evident when we look at how people feel when they engage with their natural interests. There is a sense of ease, flow, and vitality. Time may seem to disappear, and there's often a deep sense of satisfaction or rightness in those moments. These are not just emotional highs, they are spiritual confirmations. They suggest that when we operate in alignment with our true nature, the one hinted at by our birth date, we move closer to our intended path. We're not just doing something we loved, we're doing something we are meant to do. Sadly, many people are conditioned to ignore or abandon their natural tendencies. They are told to pursue what is practical, expected, or safe. Yet over time, this can lead to a deep sense of dissatisfaction or even illness. The soul resists being silenced. The passions we carry are part of our purpose, and denying them is like turning away from a compass that's pointing us home. When you understand that your tendencies are aligned with your spiritual mission, when you realize they were pre-installed at birth, it becomes easier to trust and follow them even when the world doesn't understand. Astrology also sheds light on this connection. The sun sign reveals your core identity, the moon sign your emotional makeup, and the rising sign how you express yourself outwardly. If you're born with strong influence in Virgo, for example, you may have a natural inclination toward healing, organization, and service. A person with a prominent Leo influence might be drawn to performance, leadership, or creativity. These cosmic placements are not just character traits, they are spiritual blueprints designed to steer you toward your mission. They explain why certain roles feel more natural than others. The beauty of this understanding is that it brings validation. It reassures us that we are not broken for wanting something different from what others expect. You may love solitude while others crave crowds. You might be passionate about justice, animals, or building systems. These are not random preferences. They are inner signals guiding you to places where your energy can make the greatest impact. Your joy, your fascination, your curiosity, they are clues. And the more you follow them, the more your life aligns with meaning and fulfillment. Even the challenges you face can point toward purpose. Sometimes the very things we struggle with the most, anxiety, loss, rejection, become the soil in which our purpose grows. A person who battles self-worth might be called to help others find confidence. Someone who grew up in chaos may have a purpose in creating peace. These inner battles shape not just who we are, but why we are. They refine our strengths and deepen our compassion. And often we find that the very things we've overcome are the very things we're meant to teach or heal in others. When you step back and observe your tendencies without judgment, you begin to see the threads of your life purpose taking shape. Your unique combination of gifts, experiences, passions, and even pain was not an accident. From the day you were born, through the energy of that date, you were given a spiritual fingerprint, and it is through the alignment of your nature and your choices that your purpose unfolds. Your job is not to become something else, but to become more of what you already are. From ancient civilizations to modern-day mystics, humanity has long believed that the circumstances of our birth hold profound meaning. Your birth date, the exact day, month, and year you entered this world, is not just a marker of time, it is a symbolic symbolic portal into your destiny. When we begin to explore our birth date using systems like numerology, astrology, or other metaphysical disciplines, we unlock hidden insights about our personal mission in life. These insights can serve as guideposts, pointing us toward the work, relationships, and experiences that nourish our soul. Numerology is one of the most accessible ways to begin this exploration. It is based on the idea that numbers are not only quantitative, but also qualitative. They carry energy, personality, and spiritual vibration. By reducing your full birth date into a single-digit life path number or master number, you discover a theme that often mirrors your natural strengths, weaknesses, and purpose. For example, someone with a life path number 1 is here to lead, create, and innovate, while someone with a life path 6 is here to nurture, support, and bring harmony. These numbers act like signposts, helping you navigate your inner world with greater clarity. Astrology offers a more complex but equally powerful lens. By creating a natal chart, essentially a map of the sky, at the exact moment of your birth, astrologers can identify patterns and placements that reveal your soul's blueprint. Each planet governs a different aspect of the self. Mercury reflects communication, Venus governs love and values, and Saturn speaks to lessons and discipline. The zodiac signs these planets occupy, as well as their angles to one another, form a multidimensional profile of your spiritual architecture. Your sun sign may reveal your core identity, but it is the chart as a whole that reveals your mission. When you explore your birth date through these systems, you gain more than just knowledge. You gain language. Many people go through life feeling certain things without knowing how to explain them. They sense a pull toward particular careers or feel inexplicably sensitive to certain environments, but they can't articulate why. Numerology and astrology give you vocabulary for the intuitive truths you've always known but never fully understood. This clarity can be deeply liberating. It validates your inner knowing and helps you feel seen by forces greater than yourself. These tools also highlight areas of growth and transformation. Your mission in life is not only about what comes easily, it's also about where you are meant to evolve. In numerology, each life path has its challenges. The 5 may struggle with discipline, while the 2 may wrestle with self-consciousness. In astrology, certain planetary placements may point to karmic lessons or past life patterns that need resolution. Exploring your birth date helps you understand not just what you are good at, but what you are here to master. This perspective shifts difficulties from meaningless struggles to purposeful steps on your journey. Moreover, birth date exploration invites a more intuitive, reflective relationship with time. Rather than seeing time as linear and rigid, you begin to perceive it as cyclical and symbolic. In astrology, the return of certain planetary transits marks powerful life stages. The Saturn return in your late 20s, for instance, is often a wake-up call to step into maturity and responsibility. In numerology, personal years and cycles add another layer of meaning, showing you the themes and energies present in different chapters of your life. Understanding these rhythms can help you prepare, respond, and evolve with greater grace. Another benefit of examining your birth date is the way it aligns your outer life with your inner truth. When you discover your natural patterns and soul intentions, you begin to make decisions that feel more authentic. You may choose a career that aligns with your calling or form relationships that support your growth. You might finally release societal expectations that never resonated with your true self. This is not about predicting your future. It's about understanding your essence so you can co-create your life with purpose and intention. Your birth date becomes a personal code that unlocks the life you were meant to live. In many ways, exploring your birth date is like sitting down with the universe and asking, "Why am I here?" And instead of silence, you receive answers. Not always direct, but symbolic, layered, and profound. These answers don't impose a rigid destiny, but rather invite you into a deeper dance with your own becoming. They remind you that you are not drifting aimlessly through life, but walking a path that was etched into the stars and numbers long before you were born. And as you decode that path, you step into the power of conscious, aligned living. Understanding your purpose is like being handed a compass in the wilderness of life. Without a sense of purpose, many people find themselves drifting from one experience to another, chasing achievements, relationships, or material goals that often leave them feeling empty or unfulfilled. When you lack clarity about why you are here, about what you are meant to contribute or experience, life can begin to feel like a series of random events rather than a meaningful journey. But when you begin to grasp your true purpose, everything starts to take shape. Your choices carry weight. Your struggles gain meaning. Life becomes more than survival. It becomes a mission. Living intentionally begins with awareness. When you know your purpose, you're able to look at each decision from the small, everyday choices to the life-altering ones through a clearer lens. Instead of simply reacting to life, you start responding from a place of alignment. You know what resonates with your values, your goals, your deeper truth. You stop wasting time on distractions or paths that don't serve you. Intentional living is not about control or perfection. It's about making conscious choices that support your soul's direction. It's living with your eyes wide open, awake, deliberate, and aware. Purpose gives power, not in the form of dominance, but in the form of inner strength. It gives you resilience when life gets difficult. When you know what you are here for, you're far less likely to be derailed by setbacks, criticism, or failure. Challenges no longer define you, they refine you. Every hardship becomes an opportunity to grow into the person you're meant to become. You start to recognize obstacles as part of your evolution, not punishment or misfortune. This shift in mindset makes you powerful, not because life stops testing you, but because your purpose becomes stronger than your fear. A clear sense of purpose also brings an unmistakable confidence. You no longer need constant external validation or approval. You begin to trust your own intuition and judgment because you are aligned with something deeper than ego or insecurity. Whether you're creating art, raising a child, starting a business, or healing others, you understand that your path is unique and valid. That certainty radiates from within, and others can feel it. People are drawn to those who are living their truth because that kind of energy is magnetic, authentic, and alive. Living with purpose helps prioritize what really matters. In a world full of noise and endless options, it's easy to become overwhelmed or distracted. But when you are rooted in purpose, clarity cuts through the chaos. You begin to focus your energy on what contributes to your mission. Whether that means dedicating time to a meaningful cause, nurturing important relationships, or simply protecting your peace, you gain the discernment to say yes to what aligns and no to what doesn't. This not only saves time and emotional energy, it creates a life of coherence and fulfillment. Moreover, purpose connects you to something greater than yourself. It's not just about personal satisfaction or achievement. It's about contributing to the world in a way that only you can. When you live with purpose, you start to see your life as a thread in a much larger tapestry. Your actions, no matter how small, ripple outward and impact others. Whether you inspire one person or 1,000, whether you heal wounds or spark ideas, you are actively participating in the collective growth of humanity. This sense of contribution brings deep, abiding satisfaction that fleeting pleasures simply cannot offer. Understanding your purpose also brings healing. It gives context to your wounds, your pain, and your past. Many of the things we suffer through in life, heartbreak, loss, trauma, start to make sense when we realize they were shaping us for something larger. Our pain becomes part of our power. We become more compassionate, more courageous, more equipped to support others who are walking similar paths. And in doing so, we often realize that our purpose isn't just about self-expression, it's also about service. It's about using our unique story to bring light where there is darkness. When you live with intention and purpose, you begin to embody a quiet but unmistakable power. You don't need to shout or prove anything. Your actions speak for themselves. You become the kind of person who walks into a room and shifts the energy simply by being aligned. People trust you not because you have all the answers, but because you live with integrity. Your life becomes a message, not one of perfection, but one of authenticity and courage. And even though you may still experience doubt or fear, they no longer have control over you. You are no longer lost. You are led by your own truth. Challenges are often viewed as unfortunate detours in the journey of life, painful, disruptive events that hinder progress or joy. However, when we begin to explore our life from a spiritual or energetic perspective, particularly through the lens of our birth code, these challenges take on a new meaning. They are no longer just obstacles to avoid or endure, but rather integral parts of the soul's curriculum. They are invitations to evolve, expand, and embody the qualities we came into this life to master. Hidden within the numbers and symbols of our birth date is a map, and often that map points us directly toward our greatest inner work. In numerology, each life path number not only reveals strengths but also highlights core lessons, the recurring themes and difficulties that are designed to shape us. For example, someone with a life path number 1 is destined to become a pioneer and leader, but may first struggle with self-doubt or dependency. A life path 7 is meant to cultivate deep spiritual wisdom, yet may face early experiences of isolation or misunderstanding. These hardships are not punishments, they are perfectly tailored experiences that encourage growth into the highest expression of that path. When we view our challenges this way, we stop resisting them and begin to ask, what is this trying to teach me? Astrology also reveals karmic patterns and challenges encoded in your birth chart. The placement of Saturn, for instance, is often referred to as the taskmaster of the zodiac. Wherever Saturn appears in your chart tends to indicate areas of life where you will experience delay, hardship, or restriction. Not to defeat you, but to build discipline, patience, and long-term success. Similarly, the presence of Chiron, the wounded healer, marks the place of your deepest wounds and the areas you are meant to transform, both in yourself and in others. These placements offer a deeper understanding of why certain challenges arise, often in repeat cycles, until healing occurs. What is especially transformative about this perspective is that it restores your agency. Rather than feeling like a victim of random misfortunes, you begin to see yourself as an active participant in a soul-level unfolding. The trials you face, whether emotional, relational, financial, or spiritual, are purposeful. They are connected to your unique spiritual evolution and are often catalysts for awakening. Understanding this connection through your birth code can be profoundly empowering. It doesn't necessarily make the pain easier, but it gives it meaning, and meaning has the power to transform suffering into strength. Even your timing in facing certain challenges can be aligned with your birth code. In numerology, personal year cycles and pinnacles reveal the energy themes of different life stages. You may find that particular years are more prone to upheaval, introspection, or redirection, not because of bad luck, but because those periods are designed for growth. Astrology mirrors this through planetary transits and returns. The infamous Saturn return, for instance, often triggers major life upheaval between ages 27 and 30, forcing you to confront what is no longer working and align more fully with your purpose. These are not random moments, they are divinely timed spiritual checkpoints. Moreover, the very challenges you face often equip you with the tools you need to fulfill your life purpose. Someone who endures abandonment might later guide others toward belonging. A person who overcomes addiction might become a healer or mentor. A soul who has experienced deep failure might gain the humility and resilience needed to become an extraordinary teacher. These difficult chapters are not detours. They are the very soil in which your life's mission takes root. Your birth code not only predicts the themes you face, but holds the key to transforming those themes into wisdom, empathy, and power. When you understand your birth code and the spiritual design of your life's challenges, you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And begin asking, what is this shaping me into? You recognize that growth often comes through tension and strength is born from pressure. Rather than rejecting difficulty, you learn to meet it with curiosity and courage. You begin to trust that your life is unfolding exactly as it needs to, not in spite of the challenges, but because of them. And through that trust, you begin to walk your path with greater grace, grounded in the knowledge that even your hardest moments are serving a higher purpose. There is a profound shift that happens when you begin to believe, truly believe, that your birth was not an accident. You were not randomly placed on earth at a random time in a random family. You arrived exactly when you were meant to, woven into the fabric of time with intention. The moment of your first breath coincided with a unique alignment of cosmic forces, energetic frequencies, and spiritual rhythms. Everything about your entrance into this world, your date, time, place, and even your name name holds encoded information about your path, your potential, and your purpose. The concept of divine timing reminds us that the universe, or whatever name you give to the greater intelligence of life, operates with precision. Much like the changing of seasons or the tides of the ocean, your arrival was part of a larger pattern. Many spiritual traditions affirm that souls choose when and where they will incarnate, based on what they seek to learn and contribute. This means your birth was not a mistake, regardless of the circumstances around it. Even if it seemed unplanned or came through hardship, its deeper truth is rooted in divine orchestration. You are here on purpose, with purpose. Your birth date is the signature of this divine design. Through numerology, astrology, and other sacred sciences, we can decode the deeper meanings embedded in your date of birth. These codes don't dictate your life, they illuminate it. They offer clues about your spiritual DNA, your strengths, your struggles, your innate gifts, and the types of experiences that will shape you. Just as a seed knows how to become a tree when placed in the right soil, your soul knows what it came here to do. That knowing is embedded in your being from the moment you enter this world. When you start to accept that your life has divine purpose, you begin to see yourself differently. You no longer measure your worth based on external success, approval, or comparison. Instead, you recognize that your existence alone is sacred. Your presence is part of a larger puzzle, and even the smallest parts of your journey carry meaning. Every encounter, every detour, every triumph, and every failure are all part of the unfolding of that divine purpose. This awareness creates a deep sense of belonging, not just to people or places, but to the very flow of life itself. Divine timing also teaches patience and trust. You may not always understand why something is happening when it does, or why something isn't happening when you desperately want it to. But when you see your life through the lens of divine design, you begin to trust that the timing of your growth, your healing, your breakthroughs, and your contributions is not random. Delays may be protection, setbacks may be preparation. Even silence can be a sacred pause before a powerful unfolding. Your life is not behind schedule. It is moving in alignment with a timing far wiser than your own. This understanding is particularly healing for those who have ever questioned their worth or place in the world. If you've ever felt like you don't belong or that your life lacks meaning, the truth of divine purpose can be a life raft. It reminds you that your existence is not conditional. You don't have to earn your right to be here. You are here, and that alone is evidence that you matter. You were chosen for this time, this generation, this moment in human history. You carry something, a voice, an energy, a message, a presence that is needed now more than ever. To embrace the idea that you are born with divine timing and purpose is to step into a sacred contract with life itself. It invites you to live with reverence for your time on this planet. It calls you to look inward, to uncover what has been seeded in you, and to allow that seed to blossom fully. And though the path may twist and turn, though you may sometimes doubt or forget, the truth remains steady. You are not a mistake. You are not lost. You are exactly where you need to be, and everything in your life is unfolding in perfect divine rhythm. So as we bring this journey to a close, let us remember this. Your birth was not a coincidence. You were born with purpose, intention, and perfect timing. The numbers and cosmic patterns that accompanied your arrival were not mere background noise. They were whispers of a deeper truth about who you are and why you're here. Your challenges are not curses. They are part of your spiritual curriculum. Your gifts are not random. They are precisely what the world needs from you. And your path, no matter how winding or unclear it may seem at times, is meaningful beyond measure. Every lesson, every encounter, every moment has the potential to guide you closer to your highest self. When you begin to see your birth date as more than just a number, when you honor it as a sacred signature of your soul's design, you begin to live with greater courage, clarity, and compassion. You start to live on purpose, not by default. You make choices not out of fear or comparison, but out of alignment with your truth. You are born to shine in your own unique way. No one else has your fingerprint, your perspective, your combination of strengths and experiences, and the more you step into that truth, the more the world around you transforms. Because when just one person lives in alignment with their life purpose, it creates a ripple effect, healing, inspiring, and empowering others to do the same. So don't wait for a perfect moment to start living your purpose. Don't wait for a sign more powerful than your own existence. You are the sign. You are the purpose. You are the miracle written into time itself. Stand tall in the knowledge that your life matters, that your birth was no accident, that your soul came here with a mission, and that mission is unfolding one intentional step at a time. The time to live fully, boldly, and authentically is not someday, it's now.